Albert A. Wall, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. Oh my gosh, I feel very festive right now after that little opening that we just did there. Welcome to the 200th episode. This is I can't believe it's taken us what? Yeah, it's almost taken us 6 years to get there.
Yeah, about that. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, something like that. But we're here, and that's what matters, right? So, so if you guys are here, please say hi. Oh. Thank you, Becky's already telling us how great our graphics are. Thank you, Becky. I worked hard on our graphics.
Yes, Tom did. Kudos to Tom for this.
Wait, is my microphone finally working?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There we go. Okay.
You're there. You're there, Damon. So yeah, no, I'm excited that it's our 200th episode. Like I said, I can't believe it's taken us this long to get to 200, but we're here, and that's good. So, do we want to invite people to join us yet, or we want to wait?
Why don't we start with I know you sent out the rundown. Why don't we kind of get our pace going with that, and then we'll pull people in as we start talking.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah. That sounds good. Let's do that then. So, first of all, leave it to us to take a week off, and then huge news happen, right? Right after we decide,
Of course, yeah.
Of course this happens, right? So obviously, and I feel it's what is it? John Oliver does those last week tonight, right? That's I feel like what we're doing right now. 2 weeks ago tonight. That's basically what we're doing. So a lot of people didn't care for Bob Chapek, and now you don't have to worry about him anymore because he's gone. So what a crazy thing to happen while we were gone.
Yeah. I mean, it's that announcement. I think that came out the day after we recorded the last episode, wasn't it? It was that night.
Yeah, it did.
I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was.
It totally was. Yeah.
It was surprising how quick it happened, and again, I know lots of us have talked about it over the last couple of weeks, but the interesting thing that I'm seeing now from that is everyone's painting it, or actually what I'm seeing a lot of is, all the fake news that's kind of coming in the wake of it, right? Where, people are
yeah, that's what's happening, right?
Bob Iger took over everything, a week later, the entire infrastructure of Disney has changed, right? It's crazy.
Some of it's real, right? Some of it, he immediately started restructuring things, but there was that thing that was filtering around on Facebook that was somebody just mocked up Disney announcing they were getting rid of the reservation system, and it was if you read it and have read anything Disney's written, you're that's not real, right? This, first of all, they called it they didn't even call Disneyland they called it Resort in Anaheim or something like that.
Yeah.
So but that thing spread like wildfire all over the internet. But first of all, a couple people are checking in, and I have to acknowledge them. Thank you, Alexis, for being excited for 200.
We're not having people join us right from the get-go. I mean,
we can if you want. Yeah, we can throw it out there. I think Becky wants to.
So yeah. Becky asked if it's better to join on Facebook or YouTube. I think it's the link, or actually, yeah,
the link will just take you to a browser. So
yeah.
All right. So listen, I just posted a link. Okay. So what is that, Becky? What does that mean? Okay, so I just posted a link to both Facebook and YouTube. If you would like to join us, please click the link. I will ask, if you are going to join us, to please have headphones on because we can't have echoes and stuff like that. And make sure you have a good internet connection, all that fun stuff too. So I went ahead and posted the link. If you want to join us, please do. But just a couple of people checking in. Thank you, Dan, one of the prominent Dans. I enjoyed how all the Dans.
The other Dan must be working. That's all he does on the weekends, I feel like, anyway, is work.
Yeah, the other Dan. Yeah, one of the other Dan. There's 5 Dans, I swear. But thank you, Francisco, Gina. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you guys all for checking in.
So nobody joined us yet?
Not yet. No, it takes a couple minutes to join, right? So, we can continue talking about the things that we were talking about. Yeah, so Becky actually, Becky can come on and talk about this, but Becky actually had what was the rumor that she put? Oh, she put that rumor into our Discord, right, about the park reservations going away. Yeah. Becky, I wasn't referring specifically to you. Okay, that was not about you. I promise. Okay, so thank you, Heidi, for checking in, and then Dawn, we thank you guys for watching and for listening, and we it's funny, we got our Spotify Wrapped, and a lot of people listen to us on Spotify, but other people listen to us all sorts of different places. But look at this, somebody checking in from Guardians, from the line. Guardians.
Go Katrina, have a good time.
Impressive. That's impressive.
Dedication right there. Thank you.
Yeah.
I am impressed with that. Oh, and look, our good friend Becky is joining the stream. There she is.
Hey, Becky.
Hey. I tried to get Derek DeBoer to join, and he was in the car going to Krampus Fest. So I told him I'd make sure to represent with it.
Oh, you're Oh, you got
the hat.
Oh no, you got the hat.
Oh no.
Damon's not even.
I don't even know what to say.
Well, bye, Damon.
I thought you'd say bye, Becky, at that point.
Yeah. Damon's gonna leave on us, and then it's gonna get awkward.
That's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Oh, she's still got the sticker on and everything too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my kids. Like I was like, who has a hat? All of you have a hat. Where is one of them?
You had to just go find one.
I had to look. They're like, we probably have them in our rooms or on like our lockers outside. Great.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Dan, one of the prominent Dans, is naming this Hatgate 2022. Oh, we lost Damon. Damon just left. He's that upset. He just bailed on the show. Oh, you see what
Well.
Yet another prominent Dan chiming in. Congrats on episode 200. Thank you, Dan. Other prominent Dan. They should start their own little micro group within our group called the Prominent Dans. Start a boy band. Oh, and look who's here. The meme master himself, Francisco, has joined us.
Yay!
How's everyone doing?
Hey.
All right. I mean,
like the one time a year we see each other. All of us.
I know, right? that or Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wear a costume, so this is as close as I can get, I guess.
Oh my gosh. I like that you have the Christmas tree in the background. I actually just set up my Christmas tree, and I think I told everybody last year that I'd gotten a 50th anniversary monorail, as a gift. And so now going around my tree is the monorail, which is extraordinarily cool, by the way. It's a very cool toy. Okay, wait. So apparently, according to another Dan, we have too many Dans, and then that they've already created a subgroup. According to Dan K, they've already created a subgroup within the group. Then Julia is suggesting they be called the Dapper Dans.
Nice.
I mean, that just feels derivative, though, right? Oh, yeah. Okay, now Damon has decided to join. Wait, is that actually Damon? Wait, is or is that like a mannequin? I feel like it's a mannequin.
Even scarier.
It just needs a voiceover now.
I don't know what's happening here. This is very disconcerting. The mannequin has not moved yet. Unless Damon. Oh, there he is.
There it is.
Oh my gosh, Damon. I don't know what's going on with Damon. He's all frozen here. So I don't know what's happening. Are you there, Damon?
I think he's doing the blurred background, so because you don't have a green screen, it kind of messes with the video a little bit.
Yeah, it can do that. It can do that for sure. I have to have a background because my office is currently Santa's workshop. So, so anyway, but thank you, Francisco and Becky, for joining. This is great. So are both of you happy about this whole CEO change? I know a lot of people are. I mean, listen, I feel like Chapek wasn't great, but I feel also like a lot of the things that he did were things that were already in motion. Whoa, what is that noise? Is that you, Becky?
No.
Is that Damon? Francisco, who's got all the noise coming in? Anyway, so I mean, I think some of that stuff, like, and then Iger's going to get some credit now for some stuff that that was already in motion when Chapek was there, right?
Yeah.
So,
also, Iger left at a very unique time, right when the pandemic hit. So we never had a chance to actually see how he operated under those conditions. Chapek got a bad rep, but we'll see how he recovers from it.
I'm sorry, Francis.
This live stream is already our best one so far. Wait, Chris, was this? So Chris has just joined us. Of the prominent Chris's, there's only one.
No, there's girl Chris and boy Chris.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Well, it's Chris with a K.
Yeah, that's right.
Different Chris. Yeah.
Different Chris. But Chris,
wow,
for those that are not watching the live stream, Chris is dressed as Grunkle Chris. Was this your Halloween costume this year, Chris? Or you just have this in your wardrobe, available?
I bought this when this live stream was going to be around Halloween, and then when it got rescheduled, I have not worn it. So this is the first time.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Francisco. So, Francisco was right in the middle of something, and I just
I know I screwed everything up. I'll be quiet.
No. Francisco, you're talking on mute, man. Oh, this is. Where are you there, Francisco? So you were saying he joined at a weird time, right?
No, well, I'll say that Iger left at the perfect time. When the pandemic just hit. Yeah. And Chapek came in, so we never actually got to see how Iger dealt with that whole those last 2 years. So. Some people say that Chapek was the man to take the fall, and that was the whole plan to get go. But who knows?
Well,
it'll be unique to see how everything works out in the next couple of 2 years.
Something interesting I saw that I didn't know this, but it makes sense, is that Disney was apparently paying him $10 million a year just as a consultant, and because the Bobs kind of hated each other, they weren't really using his. So he's just getting $10 million just to
hang out.
Yeah, just to criticize Chapek from afar. So
yeah, I'm sure he lost more money on that on the stock itself too.
Well, there's that too, right? Yeah, there's that too. But I got to go to some comments here. So we've got a lot of people watching right now. 33T is saying shame on Becky for getting our hopes up. Becky, oh my,
Thanks.
So Becky shared it in the Discord, the whole getting rid of reservation thing. But to be fair, you shared the caveat that it was just a rumor and it was unconfirmed. So
yeah. I said that Chris needs to be the only one who can break the breaking, because he obviously got it right. I didn't.
Yeah. Well, by breaking, just looking at Twitter and then
that's right.
Repeating what I see.
Well, it didn't work for me.
And Carrie's commenting, I joined hoping for a big Damon reveal. I mean, listen, this is more of Damon than you've ever seen on the show, right?
That's true.
You got the bridge of you got the top of his nose right here. You got a little bit of forehead.
He's wearing our hoodie too, guys.
He is. He is wearing the hoodie.
Like this is special that we're getting this much Damon.
More Damon than usual. And thank you, Jeff, for the congratulations. We appreciate it. And Gina just wants to brag to everybody that she's met the Welcome Home podcast in real life, which she has. Yeah, Gina's met all of us, right? She's one of the few that have met all of us in person. Nice. That's right.
Yeah.
Look at that. So, I mean, but listen,
pictures or didn't happen.
Pictures didn't happen. Yeah, that's right. Jeremy and Trevor didn't.
I posted all that myself. Hey, Jeremy, if you're watching,
didn't happen.
Yeah, totally didn't happen.
Well, but listen, Chris also had a pretty unique experience of just getting to hang out with Damon and I one time, like while we were just hanging, right? So, that was a whole kind of different thing. Didn't even see us in the park. So, is Damon just sitting really still, or is he frozen? It's really creeping me out.
Like Weekend at Bernie's style, Damon.
It does, right? It feels like it's Weekend at Bernie's. You're totally right. All right, Carrie said collect all three. We'll start a collectible. Well, we should each get our own unique pins, right? Like, so there's a Trevor pin, a Tom pin, and a Damon pin. And then when you meet us, you get that pin, and then when you collect all three, you have the set.
Oh, they can be interlocking, so they make the logo or something.
Oh wow,
that
was pretty neat.
You just took it next level, Becky.
Oh.
This is
well.
Okay. You're starting something, Becky.
That's what I'm here for.
This is how things happen around here. You throw something out, and in 6 months we're gonna have it.
I mean, you had fancy point shirts, right, or dirty point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dirty. Well, you did it fast too. Yeah.
I was literally already making shirts that day, and I'm like, well, here we go.
All right, Prominent Dan, I get it. Don't tease us with the pins. Still waiting for the last one. I know. I'm like a year behind at least on getting pins out to people. I will do it. I swear. Someday. And Jennifer chiming in. We should do Funko Pops. I thought
of that same thing.
I would love to do a Funko.
Okay, that was my wife. No, honey, we don't need any more Funko Pops. No.
I didn't want to out your wife on here. Your wife has got her own little following after the trip reports. You know.
And you know, speaking of, you know, you're all decked out for Christmas, Tom. I know I don't have anything in the room with me, but you know, my wife has been posting all of the Disney Christmas stuff she's been finding. I mean, like today, she just posted that lantern that on the Facebook group. If you guys didn't see it, it's crazy. What?
Trevor's wife just says "what" with a whole bunch of exclamation. I mean, not exclamation marks.
Okay. Well,
DJ we'll writing in, happy 200 guys, best Disney podcast around. Thank you very much, DJ. We really appreciate that. Man, this has been. I'm so happy you guys are all here with us doing this. You know, you guys are like. You know, with us all the time on this stuff. And, you know, Francisco's always doing the memes. And, you know, Chris, you're always contributing a lot of good stuff. And Becky is giving us false news all the time. You know, you guys are the best. We wouldn't. Sorry, Becky, I had to. But yeah, thank you guys for doing this with us. So anything else about Chapek, or are we just not going to talk about him anymore? We're just done. Where he's gone. He's erased from history. They took his name off the that one building that it was on. They just were like, see you later.
I think the only thing I was going to bring up, I was talking about this earlier this week, is or last week, like everybody already really, really wanted Bob Iger back, or anybody else but Chapek, and then now that's happened, so immediately everyone got greedy. Like, and now I also need all of these things.
Well,
you got to give some time.
No joke, Becky. I swear, like next day, I saw somebody post on Facebook, like, why is the reservation system still in place? He's been there for one whole day already. It's like, give him time, man. Like, you know, he might want to keep it. We don't know. Like, I think we all we all get like these rose-colored glasses. You know, there were decisions that Iger made that not everybody liked, right? He was just better at selling us on them, right?
For sure.
So,
yeah. There was some interaction, regardless of what it was.
That's right. So, Chris, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say Disney IT can't do basic things with like a year's advance notice. How are they going to turn something around in 24 hours? I'm just,
that's a great segue.
It is, Chris, I don't know if you looked at the rundown before or if you pulled it up from Patreon, but that's an amazing segue, because the next topic I have on here is how DVC completely messed up two-factor authentication on the website. It basically didn't work, and they already had to pull it down. Yep. Oh wait, Dan says our long national nightmare Chapek is finally over. So and then Dan, the other Dan, another Dan H, Dan K, Dan. There's several Dan H's too. It's so hard to keep track of all the Dans. I feel like we need to name you something different. But yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw this. I had not tried to log in during the ill-fated
two-factor
authentication period. For those that don't know what happened, apparently you could just type in any password you wanted, right? That was the issue, I believe. Yeah. And which is not a good security, piece of security. Oh, we have somebody else joining us here. Oh, look at this. We have a prominent Dan that has joined us.
Hello.
Are you leaning against the wall? What's going on here, Dan?
Yeah, I got to be quick. I got a present here from Bob Chapek, though.
Oh no. God, I'm scared. What is that? Is what? Wendy's crew member? Oh, okay. It's a flyer to go work at Wendy's. That's okay.
He's looking for a job. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
picked it up for him.
I feel like $18 an hour is a little bit below his asking price.
It's the holiday spirit. I just hope he finds something to help him.
Don't worry. He's still getting paid, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, he's getting like a $25 million, golden parachute there. So
that's very thoughtful of you, Dan.
It is very thoughtful.
That's why I wanted the chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One of the prominent Dans.
The prominent Dan.
Good. Oh boy, you're going to start a problem in the group now. This is
going to turn to Highlander in a minute here.
Bring
Tom.
it.
This is podcast wars. It's the podcast wars you've always wanted, except it's internally amongst Dans.
Make it happen.
Well, thanks for joining us, Dan.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, Dan. Oh, boy. Okay. So what were we talking about? I don't even remember anymore.
So two-factor auth and Disney IT. And
we don't even need to talk about this, right? It's a fail.
And yeah, being in IT myself, I get, things don't always go the way they should going into production. And, I try to defend these things sometimes that, it's not always as straightforward as you think, but yeah, that was a huge miss. And
yeah, that's really bad.
Disney
that's a really bad one.
Yeah.
They were doing the right thing. They were doing this thing they should have done a long time ago and then just fail. I want to talk about, I have a lot of DVC news, by the way, in this episode. There's a lot of DVC news. So there's a new holiday, a paid event. And this one is Holidays in Hollywood. This is DVC members there's 2 dates for this, December 15th and the 22nd. And participation features admission to Hollywood Studios, dinner at Pizza Rizzo. I don't know if that's really, they should pay me to eat Pizza Rizzo. This is and then beer, including beer and wine. The dinner would consist of unique menu items as more than just pizza. Okay, well, I would hope so. And then
nothing there is pizza.
It's pizza, right?
Yeah.
There's some sauce on some bread with some cheese and maybe some toppings, right?
That's pizza served by a rat.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like they just had leftover ingredients and they're trying to get rid of it.
Well, that was what
Francisco give it to the DVC guys.
That's what we were talking about, though. Remember, because we saw all, what was it? All the menus for the day after Thanksgiving, like all of them had like turkey in them, and it was like, oh yeah, they're just gonna have a bunch of leftover turkey, it's just gonna throw it into all this stuff. So, wait, what does Alexis say? Agree, Becky, but actual pizza, not actual pizza. That's not actual pizza. Got it out. Got it, Alexis. Got it. Okay. But the kicker of this one, right? So there's no special attraction access that comes with this. You do get free admission after 4 p.m., but the event costs $159. Like, what? Is that more than the Christmas party?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
The greatest thing is they added these 2 nights to be the extra hours nights for studios for the deluxe resort gets. Those are the same only 2 nights that they put there. Then they decided to add, and also you can pay.
Yep. Yeah, they were just like, yeah, but that's the thing that doesn't make sense, right? Because it's like DVC members already get access to the extra hours, right? So it's like you're not giving them any special access. Like, yeah, to Chris's point, yeah. Why are you also commenting?
I mean, I don't want to bust in and
that's what you do. You bust in. That's how you roll.
I can barely see out of my Grunkle Stan glasses.
Are those prescription glasses that you have there? Right?
They're not like the monocle, which was prescription, which I could not look out of last year.
Okay, that
we improved. we went up this year.
Well, Dan K says for that price they should have an option to throw tomatoes at Chapek. That's actually included. They're gonna have him in what are those things called? The what is that called when your head's in
dunk
the thing?
tank?
No, I'm talking about
the
stocks. Yeah. They're gonna have them in stocks. They're just gonna give you tomatoes, and you're just gonna huck them at Chapek. Or I mean, you can at least just have a cardboard cutout of them or something, just to throw them at.
It's about the same personality, so.
Yeah, that's that was good, Trevor. I like that. Yeah, so $159. I mean, but to the point, to Christian, to your point, that's a lot of beer and wine. You're gonna have to be sloshed in order to make that worth it, and even then, it's probably still not worth it.
It doesn't matter. It'll still sell out because there are gonna be members out there that don't want to miss out on something, not knowing what's going to happen. So I guarantee you, they're going to be sold out.
There
are people out there that just need to get that ticket.
You're 1,000% right, but I could see this appealing to maybe like locals, I guess, like local DVC members, like if they're not staying on property and they don't have access to the extra hours. I don't know.
Influencers, that's who's going to be there.
Influencers.
There's going to be tons of cameras all over the place.
Considering the timing of it too, like they announced this like 2 weeks before, or 2.5 weeks before it's actually supposed to happen.
Typical DVC 15th, right? Last minute events. Yeah.
Yeah. So, to your point, Francisco, like who really is showing up beside, local people obviously will be able to, but you basically would have to have a trip booked and then you have to decide, is it worth it to spend, was $160 per person to do this thing? Like I don't know about you guys, but I would not like derail part of my trip for something like this. Like that's a lot of money. So yeah,
no way.
I don't know who DVC is pointing this at, honestly.
I mean, yeah, one ticket is pretty much sit down for a family of 4. So I mean that's pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean 330T is chiming in here. The value could be the experience. I mean, that's a nice bright way to look at it. I like that. Okay, so let's move on to the next event that DVC added because it's making me laugh because I thought it was fake. Okay, it is for Top of the World, and it is called Bound to Be Bad. That's literally what it's called. Okay, I want to know who came up with a name for an event called Bound to Be Bad, and thought that people were not going to look at that and go, "Oh, this is going to be a great event," even though they named it. It's Bound to Be Bad. Like what?
Double entendres are missed on some people.
I was going to say, we might get the bondage crew out, though, so,
God. Family show. I need to mute you. Grunkle Chris. Out of control, Grunkle Chris. Censored. I just think it's hilarious they named an event Bound to Be Bad. It's just like, what do you expect from this? This is a Top of the World event, by the way.
Well, I mean, it is kind of the Villains Lounge, so I mean they're probably working off of that. But I mean, yeah, there could have been 1,000 better names that they could have named it aside from that.
Oh, look, Becky, is it one of your children just jumping in on the podcast? Okay. I might get my daughter on here at some point. We'll see if she walks in. But yeah, so I just, what if you didn't know it was villain themed, right? What if you just saw it and you were like, what? Like, why is it called that? Like, but we should note that. So this is another Top of the World event for December 22 and January 23. It's, there's some dates. It's Wednesday nights of all nights. Just one of the nights they have available. This party's priced at $139 a person, so probably because you don't get the admission to the park, right?
Which is clearly only worth $20
somehow, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait!
But you get the fireworks. That's why the price there. You get to watch the fireworks from Top of the World.
Yeah, well, the question is though, like, so this one is $139, but like the regular dessert party that they're doing is $89. So like what makes this one worth $50 more? I had to do quick math there, but what makes it worth $50 more? That's what I need to figure out. I don't understand that.
I'm no longer allowed to say.
What does that mean? Oh, because no, you're allowed to speak again. You've been unbanned from the show.
I think he's going to get banned right away.
Yeah, I was just kidding.
Oh, okay. No, that's good. Carrie wants to know if any. Oh, basically, Chris, I like that you're commenting in the Facebook page.
I'm multi-talented.
You are. Carrie's asking, has anybody been to the Villains Lair? I have not. But if anybody can let us know in the comments if they've been and if you liked it or not, then that would be great. The Santa hat is going to make me sweat to death, so I'm abandoning Christmas right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, listen, I'm not against these events. We've talked about this before. I don't care. They do as many events as they want. I don't care. I'm not going to pay for them most of the time. We're going to pay for them every once in a while if we want to, right? Trevor's, you have the same feeling on this.
Oh, totally. I mean, to be fair, yeah, I've done dessert parties and stuff that again for the time, it's or timing and what my family wants to do at the time, it is justified. And I guess these events too, we're, thinking about for myself, I can't justify it, but I'm sure for somebody, they'll be able to justify. They don't want to go to the parks. They want to go to, what's they're painting it as a bit of a VIP thing. Because they're highlighting that the villains are dressed up. So I'm guessing you're getting villains, but in like extra costumes, kind of like how you get Mickey and Minnie in the different seasonal stuff. So maybe that's part of the sell, and then also unlimited drinks and food from the looks of it. Which again, for me, that's still a hard sell. So
I totally agree with you. It definitely is a hard sell. I mean, we've done dessert parties, and we've enjoyed them, right? But I don't know. I don't feel the need to do this one. So that's just me. Anything from the peanut gallery? Anyone else? No? Okay. You guys are all just staying quiet. You don't care about this. I get it.
Well, the one thing I'll say is, I'm not much of a drinker, but I mean, have you ever paid for a drink at Disney? You'll make your $132 back pretty quick.
You know what, Francisco? Fair point, right? And Carrie actually mentioned something about higher drink prices, right? So, but yeah, no, that's true. I'm not much of a drinker either, and I feel like if you're not a drinker, this is not the party for you, right? Because you're not going to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Although I feel like I would drink if I was at this party, right? I don't know.
You need 5-10 drinks to break even.
Yeah, but are they going to even serve you that many? We've seen what happens when when people get 5 to 10 drinks. They climb the pyramid in Epcot. They, what else do they do? I'm trying to think of some of the other things. They get in fights. They, they dress like Grunkle Stan. Sorry.
If you're at top of the world, I mean, there's not really anywhere else to climb. But maybe somebody's going to go base jumping. I don't know.
I was going to say that the railing is not that high from the top outside. So you want people having 10 drinks.
Yeah, it's not, as someone who's had 10 drinks at Epcot before while trying to drink around the world, not recommended. Just saying. Especially in the heat. Nah. I mean, maybe at night I'd be okay, but all right, so move on to the next thing. So let's see. So this is the Star Cruiser. Disney's doing what they do when they're not booking things up, and they're starting to do some discounts, but interestingly enough, they're only offering a discount for DVC members and with points. And so if you want to book the Star Cruiser with points, they're doing 30% off for certain voyages between January and September of next year. So rates for those dates begin as 307 DVC points per adult, but the discount reduces it to 215 per adult, which actually makes it almost palatable. Almost. I don't know. How many points would you do Star? I mean, how many points would you use for Star Cruiser? What would be your maximum?
Will they give me points to do it?
No, that's not how it works.
I mean, I have 175 points per year.
Yeah.
If I was going to burn an entire year's worth of points for, 2.5 days, I mean, that's even still a hard sell. It would have to be, 215 points. That's just for one person, right? It would have to be
for one person, and it's a minimum of 2 adults that have to do this, right? So solo adults are charged at twice the adult rate. So if you went solo, you'd have to pay 430 points. I've done more math on this show than I care to.
Isn't your sponsor has a better trade-in rate on points?
Probably,
think, right? I'm pretty sure you can trade points at a better rate than even this discounted.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I remember those when you guys had that episode, and those rates seemed pretty fair, even for I think even for a family of 4, it seemed palatable.
Yeah. So another prominent Dan, it's tough to justify Star Cruiser when you've been on a cruise. I'd rather sail. I get that. I kind of feel that too, especially since Star Cruiser's 3 days? It's 3 days, 2 nights, right?
Yeah.
And you could basically 2.5 days. Yeah.
And that's just it. Is I'm with Trevor too. If my whole family can go for all of my points, and it's still only 2 days, that's still not worth it. But with all of my points, only I could go, and then not even cover the double occupancy. That's crazy, because then my whole family can go for a week on the points that we have. So why would I consider that?
as usual, it's a poor use of your points to use your points anywhere besides DVC resorts, right? Like it just always is for the most part. So I'm still not convinced that Damon is alive or not a mannequin. I feel like he hasn't moved. Like, how can he not move at all? Has he moved?
Yes, he's moved.
Not much.
No, it's not much. I mean, he's a world champion standstill person. I mean, like, I don't even stand stiller. Is that a thing? I don't know. So Tara asked an interesting question. Do you think they'll ever call the Star Wars Hotel a wash and retheme it? And when they do, what would you like to see it themed as? You know, I don't think that they will. I mean, I think they'll start discounting. I you know, from everyone that I've seen that has gone, has said it's amazing. The problem is it just costs a lot. It costs a lot of money, right? And you know, I'm sure if it costs less, a lot more people would go. And you know, they'll get to that point eventually, right?
I think they just need to like remove the theming, or maybe do that like once a month, and then just have it as a regular hotel. You know, so 3 out of the 4 weeks. Get rid of all the interactive stuff, is what you're saying. Like,
if you want to pay for that, okay.
Yeah, then you can. Then, you know, if you want to go there for dinner, you just pay for the dinner. If you want to stay, you can pay for your stay, and then maybe like once a month or something, they can have that theme week.
That's an interesting idea. Like they could have like the over the top cruises like once a month or something, or like one week a month, and the rest of the time it's just like a regular hotel. It's not a terrible idea.
I just think that the cast member situation would be tough there, because you've got really trained, really advanced people that you'd have to put to work some other way.
You've got straight up actors there. I mean, you have actors.
I gotta shut up because Dan K's comment is too good to speak over.
Yeah, Dan K says someone call a wellness check on ramen. That's excellent. By the way, if anybody else wants to join us on video and join the conversation, please do. We shared the link out. I can share it out again if anybody else wants to join, even though there's a lot of us here already. But I'll share the link again in case anybody else wants to join us. So anything else about Star Cruiser? I mean, you know, I've got some cool stuff that we're going to talk about after this that I think is really cool anyway.
The only thing I'll say is I feel like everything under Chapek came in hot and heavy. You had the Star Cruiser, the reopening of Top of the World, and then once they opened up, it just got quiet and people forgot about it really quick.
Yeah. No, that's true. Like, they're not really marketing it anymore, right? Like, there's no... Like, I saw so many commercials for Star Cruiser when it first opened, and now you see nothing. Like, you just see 50th anniversary commercials, right? It's like, I don't know. It is interesting. Well, I think we're going to have to see what happens. All right. So... We're going to do our ad here, but I don't really feel like we're halfway through. So I want to talk about this patent that Disney filed. Has everybody seen this? All right. Let's take a look at this, because this is a whole thing. So Disney has patented a park ride system with what they're calling drop swing propulsion. Okay, so I'm going to show a diagram of what this is. All right. So as you can see here, this is basically there's a track on top of a track, and then instead of the normal drop track where it just drops straight down, instead it swings. I don't know how this is going to work or how they're going to use it, but it's absurd. So
you'll be first in line then, Tom?
Yeah, no, I'm good. No, this is like the craziest thing I've seen. What are they going to do with this?
So the thinking is that you'll ride up on the upper track, and then it'll disengage from the track, drop down to the lower track, and then continue on.
It's basically like the drop track that exists now, right? Like you can go on drop track roller coasters, right? But instead of dropping straight down, the track goes like swings around like a pendulum. And here's the question, right? When it swings and it hits the bottom track, does it immediately take off like from the force of the swing? Because if that's the case, I mean, first of all, don't know how they're going to accomplish that. Second of all, that would be an interesting feeling that they would be putting out there.
I feel I feel like this is the potential for another like Indiana Jones type ride, being that it sounds great on paper, but it's going to break down every other day and be very hard to maintain.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's what I get.
Yeah. I mean, look at this ridiculous thing. By the way, they said that they could go. You can have it like go the opposite direction, and like you could have it. And they also said that you can do this with. They could do it with boats too, I guess. So like if they wanted to, which again, I don't know how. I'm trying to figure out how that works in my brain. I mean, I guess the boat would go onto a place where there's no water, right? Like it would just have to. There wouldn't be water on that spot, and then it would swing down and go back into the water somehow.
Well, it would be on like a roller coaster track and then disengage and maybe drop into like a log flume type.
Yeah,
that could maybe be like a new age Peter Pan ride where you're flying and then all of a sudden you get down into the water and then maybe re-engage again.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's a good point. Because I mean, there's like boat rides that exist, right? Where that are part roller coaster, part boat ride, right? Where you're like, at some point you go out of the water part and then you're on a roller coaster, right? Like that exists already.
Yeah.
So like they could do something like that. I don't know. All I know is this is really interesting and strange. So wait, let's see. They're saying this drop swing propulsion system that is adapted to drop a section of the track upon which the passenger vehicle is supported from a first elevation, dropping to a second elevation that is lower than the first elevation. It's fun. Okay, wait. So it says, and then the dropping motion involves swinging the track with a linkage assembly, which the other components of the system, blah, blah, blah. So it's to impart a propelling force to the vehicle to move it along the exit section of the track. So it is like when
Using
it swings down, it uses that momentum to take off again. That's crazy. I want to know this feels too specific to not have an attraction in mind for it. You know what I mean? It feels too weird not to, but I could be wrong. I mean, I know they just invent stuff all the time, and maybe they were just like, let's figure out a thing to, a different way to do a drop track. But I don't know.
I just feel like if the way these things work, it'd be hard for them to not like it's going to swing around and you're going to get the and then it's going to go like it's hard for me to imagine that they would have it so seamless.
Yeah, because there's always like safety checks like where it engages on the next part of the track, right? And so how do you do that in such a way that the track is like, okay, you just made contact and you're already going, and there's it's.
I mean, listen, I think it sounds cool, right? But I just don't know what they're going to use it for.
I hate to say it, but in my head, all I keep seeing is and you probably all seen this. Those TikTok videos where it's like a carnival ride where it's like the like it does a circle, like it's. Are you
talking about the zipper, Trevor?
No, it's not the zipper. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like everyone's sitting on one side and it kind of swings back and forth. But there's like the videos of like where they didn't bolt down the ride properly and the ride starts like shaking back and forth. And
yeah.
And that's all I can picture with this is like, it sounds great until the whole thing moves the wrong way. And then like, I don't know. It seems like a weird pattern, unless, like you said, Tom, unless there's something very specific that they have in mind for it. Like I don't know.
Listen, I'm all in favor of them trying this out. Sorry, Francisco, go ahead.
Oh, no, what I was just thinking off the top of my head was I could see this being something like Everest where it looks like the track ends and you're going to fall off, and then it swings over and starts shooting you the other way.
That would be cool, right? Like, yeah, because like that's a good application for it, right? Where you're like going to it's almost like, in this article actually said this, it's almost like Everest, right? But like, imagine Everest if you got to the broken track and stopped, and then instead of you going backwards, it just from there swung you down to the next thing, right? Like that's what it could do, right? I don't know. Or like the you could simulate that the mountain was like crumbling or something, and then you're going down a different part of the mountain. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff you could do with this. Trevor's really thinking hard about this.
Yeah, I'm envisioning like an upgraded Big Thunder now, like the last hill on Big Thunder, where like because how it's like the it's caving in, right? But like drops you to another track somewhere, and then
all right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, might be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have any thoughts about this before we move on here? All right, good. Well, because I need to do an ad, okay? Because our 200th episode is sponsored. Okay. And
so you all get to see it now. We do not rehearse these ahead of time. This is how the ads go. So
it's really fun. I thought it was funny that some people thought that we don't do them live because I'm like, and maybe it's because it's the only thing and I think I've said this before, right? I've edited out very little of the show, very little, almost the entire show. Unless we say something really stupid, which has happened. Or if we say something that's wrong, I don't like to give out wrong information. So if there's something wrong, I usually I'm questioning that in my head. Let me write that down and I'll check it later. And if it's wrong, I'll just cut it out. But the only thing I actually edit are the commercials. So maybe because that people just think that they're recorded, and we use the same one over and over because I actually do that. But okay, let's do it now. Trevor, do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it? See, this is the other thing. We never plan ahead of time who's going to read them. So I always edit out that argument of which one of us is going to read it.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I'll do it. It's fine. It's
all right.
Fine.
Okay.
All right.
Go
So
for it.
I got to finish. Our 200th episode is actually sponsored by DVC Rental Store. The DVC Rental Store, a World of DVC company, offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? To go to dvcrentalstore.com or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 1-855-382-7368. And be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. Look at that. See? We've done it so many times. You think I could just do it from heart, but I still had to look at the...
Yeah, we still got to read it.
Yeah, I know. We just, we forget sometimes. So anyway, thank you to them. Please check out DVC Rental Store. Listen, World of DVC has been very good to us. I wish that Derek could join us or somebody else, but as Becky said, he doesn't like us anymore. So that is what you said, Becky, right? Is Derek doesn't care for the show anymore. He's moved on.
No, I was muted. No,
Derek, that's what she said. She told us that before the show.
He's not going to watch this and see.
She was nodding, but on the sound, as she said.
Yeah. Thank you. Chris is backing us up here. This is good.
I realized I didn't mention this during my trip report, and I feel I should shout this out, is that Derek and I were actually going to meet up when I was there. Unfortunately, the hurricane stopped that because the day that we were planning to meet up was the morning of the hurricane that closed everything down. So, Derek and I chatted at least, and we're going to try again in the future. So he still supports the show, but someday we will actually get to meet him. Yeah. And so maybe he'll show up here someday.
He's obviously on another podcast right now. He just didn't want to tell us. A more favorite or pop podcast. Oh, okay. I've lost the comments here because I was doing other things. Oh goodness. Okay, well, let's see what we got here. All right, so a couple of reactions to this thing that we were talking about. Trevor's wife says, "Oh, this is a nope."
Yeah.
Dan Henderson, a nope as well. 330T says this is no ice machine mounted in the ceiling. This is basic physics. Okay, well, all right. Oh, maybe this will get Damon to talk. We got Heidi says I'm in. Maybe be as good as Guardians, which is the best ride at Disney right now. Damon's frozen in time though, so he can't. Yeah,
that's definitely not him. We just proved it.
Yeah, I mean he's a man. It's really a mannequin. And Jen, wait, a new people mover for Disneyland with this mechanism built into it? That feels a little intense for the people mover. I mean, Oh, look, Francisco, you got a child showing up in frame here. Let's say hello.
Yeah, he just walked in here from the house. I don't know. No, this is my son, Declan. Declan, say hey.
Hey, Declan. Hey, buddy.
He was crying. He wanted to be in here with me.
Oh, okay. That's nice. Yeah. I don't know where my family is. Should probably know that. Yeah. So, Chris, can you just say your comments out loud?
I mean, that was 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Man.
Heidi just did a life check on Damien by referencing the Guardians ride, is what Chris has said. I should just let you say it out loud.
Well, that's because Damien's not interested unless it's a trackless ride. So
that's that's right. Oh boy! All right. Well, let's see what else we got to talk about.
Can we talk about today. Splash Mountain?
We sure can. We sure can talk about that. Let's see what we got here. We got some pictures. We got a new scene. Let's take a look here. All right, so this is a new scene. We got a bunch of we talked before. Is there going to be a Tiana animatronic? Well, looks like we have one, right? So that's one right there, and then it looks like we've got some woodland critters. That looks like maybe they can reuse some of the ones from the Splash Mountain, right? I mean, we got some frogs over there.
I hope they fix them up. They were a little
in pretty
broken.
bad shape before.
Yeah. We rode it a couple of times, and Splash Mountain needs some serious love. And it's fair. They're not going to do anything right before the refurb of it. But hopefully whatever animatronics they have, they fix. My son and I were laughing because at one point we were riding it, and the last scene where like there's the boat and everyone's singing Zippity Doo-Dah. One of the chickens was kind of like this, like just stuck, and we were joking that it was
it's like
just,
Damon.
Yeah. It was. It just had like
Wait. What do you mean?
You've been frozen like the entire show. We've been making fun of you.
Frozen? No, dude. I had my son sitting in for me.
Well, he is amazing at not moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't move at all. We were joking that there was a mannequin there.
Oh, that's impressive then.
Well, no wonder. So Damon wasn't even here.
Oh, we were all excited that we got at least the hoodie and the glasses and everything. But
so that wasn't even Damon.
You had to stand in.
Oh man, that's really funny. I don't know what Michelle is laughing at, but yeah, ha, wow is right. Oh, I'm guessing the reveal that Damon wasn't Damon the whole time. Yeah. Okay, so wait, what were we just talking about? Oh,
Tiana's Bayou Adventure and the stuff that they brought out.
Buried in this announcement was that the Disney World version of this will be closing on January 23rd to begin construction, right? So they kind of buried it in the announcement there, but so if you're looking to get on Splash Mountain before it closes forever and is reborn, you need to do so in the next month and a half here. They're not giving a whole lot of notice, but they haven't been recently for these things that they're doing. They have not announced when Disneyland will be closing. I don't know why, but they have not. So so along with that, we got ourselves a new scene reveal, but Michelle's saying Damon was a mystery man. Damon, it was like your son had like a hoodie on and the mask and the sunglasses. Like we really thought it was you.
I mean, I guess so. We look alike. I mean, it could have been maybe.
Well, no, we couldn't see anything. We just saw a little bit of his forehead. I mean, we literally couldn't see.
Maybe anything. It was, maybe it wasn't. One never knows.
Now you're being mysterious about it.
we do know because someone said that Guardians was the best ride at Disney World, and no action, nothing. No comments, nothing.
It may be the best ride at Disney. That doesn't mean it's a good ride. Oh. That's the thing. I mean, I'm not debating it being the best current ride at Disney. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe. I like Everest better personally, but interestingly enough, I tried to watch that stupid Christmas special as my introduction to Guardians, and it was so terrible.
It was like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, David.
It was terrible.
That is not a good place to start with. Guardians.
But Kevin Bacon's funny, so there is that.
Yeah. That's I have not watched it yet, but I definitely will. But you're not into Guardians though, so why would you even watch that?
It's excellent.
Why not? It happened to be on and it was Christmas, so okay.
So Michelle is disagreeing with you. Oh no, I loved it, and so did,
so
did Chris.
I could see if maybe you're a Guardians person, but it didn't do anything for me.
Well, that's fair. I mean, if you're not into it, then that's I get it. So anything else we want to mention about Splash Mountain here? I mean, I know a lot of people are probably going to try to get a last minute ride in here. So, but I mean, you don't have a lot of time, right? So if you're far away, everybody on this,
if you're wanting janky animatronics, yeah, sure, get your last ride.
Well, of course, they're not going to fix anything if they're just going to redo it all, right? So,
yeah, but just don't expect it to be the Splash Mountain you remember, because that honestly, that was probably the most disappointing thing on my trip, because there was a lot that was broken. So the faster they do this, in my mind, the better, honestly.
right, that's
all I have to say is if they don't open up Tiana's place next to it, that's a big missed opportunity.
That's true. Yeah,
I agree with you. I think it's a big miss. It's a big miss. I'm gonna do for this next part. So I didn't want to download all the pictures of the holiday gift guide. So I've just decided I'm gonna share a screen like this is a Zoom call and you're at work. So that's what we're gonna do, right?
Right. Let's
see here. Yeah, let's do this. Ready? Okay, we're gonna look at some merch and see what we like here. All right, because there's a lot of cool stuff, and I want to look at all of it. So, what do we got here?
Boy,
you don't like this? You're not feeling this, David?
I mean, I like ornaments, but
gingerbread Stitch I can get on board with.
Yeah, I can get on board with gingerbread Stitch. That's pretty cool.
I don't know. I still like those ornaments from the resorts way better, though.
Which ones from the resorts? What are you talking about?
The gingerbread ones or the ones that they just put up that you could only buy in the resorts. Those were cool. In the DVC resorts?
I think I know what you're talking about. What are these? Oh, these are like the.
We're really going through that's terrible. Nobody cares about Pandora stuff.
Oh, I'm skipping through it. What about these Lego models?
Neither the charms or the place in Animal Kingdom. Is that what you're saying, David?
Oh, I went way too close.
Oh.
Dude, the Avatar Legos are like 20 years too late. Sorry. The movie's like 20 years too late.
Well, the movie, are you saying the movie or the Legos are 20
Both.
years too late? Okay. All right.
That's fair. I have to say, I actually like Pandora, but then I heard someone one day say that it's just Pocahontas redone, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, it is.
I mean,
with blue people.
With blue people.
Yep.
Your wife apparently does not care for Pandora charms.
No, I already knew.
You know
that.
what?
She does not like Pandora charms.
Good news for you. Good news for you. You don't have to buy them, right?
Yep.
I mean, listen, I always like Lego sets, but these look very basic. I like 1,000-piece Lego sets. Oh, look, it's Damon's favorite new thing.
What is this?
Holiday special.
Who is this girl here that can just make people do whatever? Who's that?
You talking about Mantis?
Mantis?
Yeah.
Oh, that's who that is.
Yeah.
She touched people and she can not really read their minds. It's like emotions and stuff.
She
right?
invokes emotions and can read emotions. That's her ability.
Wait, is this an advent calendar? Wait, what is this? It's 24 gifts.
Yeah, it's an advent calendar. It's got all the little bits and pieces in it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a little Grogu.
Is that a Willow?
Wait, is that a Willow doll? Is that a Damon? See, there you go. Now we know what to get Damon for Christmas. There we go. A Willow.
I haven't even watched the new Willow yet. Like, the one thing that Disney Plus, like, I'm always like, oh, it's just so great. I love watching TV when it's once a week. I now hate watching TV when it's once a week. I just want them all to be out, and then I'll watch it.
Okay, so you're saying
same thing with the Santa Claus series. Like, when all 6 are out, let me know. I'm going to watch it then.
Yeah. That's fair. I do that too. I'll leave it alone until there's like 4 or 5 episodes out, and then I'll binge watch.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that the Grogu character is called Wild Raiden Grogu? What is that about? What does it do?
I don't know. I realized we don't have Katie this go around, and it kind of hurts a little bit. Where is she? Well, what happened?
That we don't have Katie?
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't have Lee either. Lee's not here either. Yeah. I don't know. Got some coffee. All right. None of these things. Oh, look at that sweater. I'm going to buy that for Christmas Eve just to wear that sweater. That is a sweater right there. I like the one the kid's wearing. I don't know about you guys. I like the one the kid is wearing.
That's an Ewok one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Ewok one. Yeah. I'm definitely that.
I like that one too.
All right, how do we feel about these ears? Becky, I feel like I don't know why I could see you wearing these ears. No, she's out on this.
Absolutely not. No. Mm-mm.
You live way up north in the cold. I thought maybe,
if you need a very narrow band of your head warmed.
Yeah.
You need just the very top of your head warm. Yeah.
These are the most useless ears. Like they're too hot to wear somewhere warm, and they're not something that would keep you warm somewhere cold. Like,
you know what though? They're probably crazy comfortable, right? Like they're probably the most comfortable ears ever. No?
Probably get nasty immediately.
How is your Santa hat feeling after 10 minutes, Tom?
Yeah, but that was like covering my whole head, and like my, where I'm recording, like it gets very warm in here. It just,
but that's what Chris was saying is you might just imagine the band over your head that like just this part of your head that's really warm.
Yeah, it's I get that. Let's see. Isn't this what is this?
Why are we going through these? This is painful.
It's interesting. You don't think this is interesting, Damon?
No.
All right.
But Return to Monkey Island is cool. Okay, so.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought you'd be interested in.
It's random is all.
It is super random.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Okay, well, there's nothing else here. That just
it's just a holiday gift guide. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a holiday gift guide. We were going through gifts. When do you want to look at gifts? We got to see what we're going to buy for people.
Dude, I'm already looking at next year Christmas gifts. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm starting to put stuff away for next year Christmas. I'm like, ooh, save that. That's got to go. That's got to be saved. That's got to be saved.
Damon lives in 2025.
I do. I try to stay ahead of my gift giving.
Damon lives in 2025. I haven't even finished my shopping, Damon. I was just saying to my wife, I was like, we really got to finish this. It's really kind of bad.
It's pretty bad. It's December. Yeah. You have a kid.
Oh,
those are bad.
I'm done too.
Look at this. We got another Dan joining us.
Where is this Dan?
Hey, everyone.
That's what I want to know. What's this background here?
This is Wilderness Lodge.
Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah, you should know.
Ugh.
You should know. Come on.
Ugh. No, I don't.
Wilderness Lodge is amazing. You would have to be the only person on the planet that doesn't like Wilderness Lodge. Everyone loves Wilderness Lodge.
I just want to say congrats, guys, on 200 episodes. Great job. Love the show.
Thank you, Dan.
And didn't want to be outdone by the other Dan, so had to jump on.
I can understand that.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you,
I can
Dan.
understand that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. We
Wilderness
appreciate
Lodge is just very blah to me.
What?
It's just
What
blah.
is blah
Like I have
about
resorts that I like, and that one's just blah.
What?
It's camping.
He's
I don't
just doing
like
this
camping.
to get on my nerves. He's trying to get on my nerves. I'm just gonna let it slide. I'm gonna let it slide.
No, I don't know what, like, I just don't like vibe with that theme, right? I'm not a camping person. I'm not an outdoorsy sort of person. Like, I want to be in a nice place, and I just like, I've been there, but been there once or twice. It's whatever, man.
It is.
I don't like camping either.
Theme.
Yeah, I don't like camping either, but this is the kind of camping I would do, right? Like this is,
exactly.
This is the most wilderness I would do. Is what
it's not even camping. It's mountain lodge. Like it again, where I live. You guys go to any drive out to Banff or Canmore. This is what you get.
Yeah, that's what you get.
That's what I'm saying. I could go to the Omni. I'd rather go to the Omni than this.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
how's that?
You see what we deal with, Dan. And first of all, Carrie's chiming in. I love being able to see your reactions to Damon. Yeah, you can never see. That's the thing you're always missing with the show is us, just our faces and mannerisms when Damon says crazy stuff. So
I don't know. I was looking at the Omni in Asheville, and I was watching that national gingerbread competition, right?
Okay.
And it was so cool. And I was like, see, that's something I'd like to do. So I think they announced the winners on the 28th of November. And then after that, from the 1st of December to I think the middle of January, you can go and see them, right? I went to go book for next year.
Already booked?
Already
booked. Yeah.
Already booked. And I was like, man, I don't know. But yeah, this is a cheap Omni. That's what the Wilderness Lodge is.
Wow. I've having paid for it, I can say it's not cheap.
I think the Omni's still probably around the same price. I would probably venture a guess.
This is the Grove Park, Damon.
It's what?
The Grove Park Inn.
Yeah.
I actually know what you're talking about too. Yeah, I know.
I so want to go to this gingerbread thing now. Like I'm on board. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to not stay there and stay somewhere else so I can go.
I can't believe this Wilderness Lodge slander that's happening right now. This is
well, when you live where we live in North Carolina, this is just whatever, man. Give me something different than what I live every day, right?
I mean, to be fair, this is why I stay at the Polynesian and not at Wilderness Lodge. Because, like I said, I have these kinds of hotels an hour away
that's what I'm saying,
that we go to all the time. But don't get me wrong, I do like Wilderness Lodge. I do like going.
I don't think it's bad.
And I'll go to the restaurants there. I just won't stay there.
That's what I'm saying.
My only thing.
Dan, is your favorite resort Wilderness Lodge? Is that?
I feel like it is.
Or did you just because they have an amazing tree at Wilderness Lodge, so I wasn't sure if you were just going that way.
My favorite would be Alani, but Wilderness Lodge is at Walt Disney World. Yeah.
Okay, so that's your favorite at Disney World.
I mean, I like it around the Christmas time. Christmas time with the decorations, it's really kind of nice.
Gotcha. Okay,
gets you in the holiday spirit.
Dan, to your point, right? So like years ago when I went for Christmas, right, we went to Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. Not Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. Whispering Canyon. We've been talking for too long already, and this is when we start to lose our minds. So I was at Whispering Canyon, and they weren't really doing the normal shenanigans. They were kind of whispering, right? And it's because they have the carolers come around and do carols, right? So they were being quiet, right? And that's what our waitress told us. And then the carolers come over and they start singing this beautiful song, and about halfway through the song, you just hear "catch up!" Like someone did not tell one of the waiters they needed to be quiet. It was great. It was just a great juxtaposition of the beautiful carolers and someone yelling "catch up." So I love Woodlands Lodge. It's one of my favorites. So and another Dan is chiming in as well. Oh, there you go. See, you got Dan's support.
Dan's unite.
But where did the Dans live? What part of the country?
What part of the country? I don't know.
So I live in Wisconsin.
I don't know where these other Dans
to counter your point is it almost makes me feel like at home when away from home.
Yeah,
so, I can see that.
Yeah, that's not what I want when I go to Disney, though. Me
personally. No, that's fair. I get it.
Yep.
That's why, like, when we lived in New Jersey, I didn't go to the boardwalk. Now that I live down here, I'll go to boardwalk.
Yeah, because you don't have the boardwalk anymore, right?
I don't have the boardwalk, and I refuse to go to Myrtle Beach. I don't know who. Well, that's Myrtle Beach is a whole different story. I won't even get into that. The other Dan's not here. I think I would hurt his feelings then.
Oh, wait, which Dan? Wait.
We have too many Dans.
The one that was already on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he's a Myrtle Beach guy.
Yeah. Francisco and Chris, you got to find some other Chris and a Francisco so you can start your own little group within the group because the Dans are going to take over.
Tom's going to start some.
That's why I was late. That's why I was late here to the call here. We were having another a meeting adjacent here.
Okay.
To the Dans.
How long?
You guys need to figure out what has to be Dan, Danny, and Daniel. So figure it out and let us know.
Dan Alpha, Dan Beta, or Dan Prime. There's all sorts of ways we can go here. Becky, what were you gonna say?
Dan Plus. So it's gonna be the plus.
Dan Plus, Dan Plus. That would get confusing fast, though. This is less confusing. Oh man! All right, so, and Dan is laughing. This is Thank you, Dan. Oh man, this is. I'm glad you guys could see us physically going off the rails as we tend to towards the end. So, David,
I'm excited to go to Dollywood. I have to now see if I feel like Dollywood Resort does a better Christmas tree than Wilderness Lodge. I think I'm gonna have to make a comparison.
The Wilderness Lodge one is pretty epic. I mean, all the ones in the hotels that have the large lobbies like that are pretty great, right? But Wilderness Lodge is pretty top notch, I think.
Isn't there
Animal Kingdom is really good too.
Yeah,
the food is terrible there.
Isn't there a Christmas special or something Dolly Parton's doing from Dollywood?
Yeah, we were actually just talking, like, what would we do if we saw Dolly in Dollywood? That would be the best.
All I know is the commercial. Go ahead, sorry, Trevor.
Say hi and be polite. That's what you do.
Well, would we get a picture with her?
Why wouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that would be the best. Yes, but she did do a special. I've tried to watch some of the specials. They're definitely not my cup of tea. But I will say, as I've said in the past, the reason I like Dollywood is it's more of a Christian Christmas vibe than any of the non-religious-y Christmas sort of situations that happen at other amusement parks. So I do like that. I think it's pretty cool.
I keep seeing the commercial for that show, and she they keep going to the part where she says something about her hooves or something, but the audio is oddly off, and she makes a really awkward laugh. Does anyone know what I'm talking about here?
I don't.
It's been playing. Dan's shaking his head. It's been playing constantly, and it's constantly. She makes a joke about her hooves hurting, and then she makes a really awkward laugh after that, and it's
weird.
It is, right? Okay, thank you, Dan. All right, I'm glad I'm not the only one with this. Oh, wait, let's see. Okay, yeah, if anybody has any questions for us, throw questions in here. We're happy to answer questions on the fly, because Julie wants to know, what resort do you want to stay in the least?
Ooh,
apparently it's
DVC resorts.
Yeah, DVC resorts.
I mean, I don't think I'll ever stay at the Polynesian again.
Wow.
But that's just because of what happened when we were there, right? I just don't.
Have you? Oh, yes, you have talked about this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I just don't think I would ever stay there. I don't necessarily think it's a theming sort of thing. I just don't think I would vibe there again.
Understand? Yeah, understand. See, for me, I don't think that there's any resort that I don't want to stay in. I mean, you know, everybody that's listening to the show knows I'm on a mission to stay at all of them, right? So, I mean, I don't really a Caribbean beach. I mean, if we're going non-DVC, that's the only place I really don't want to stay.
That was terrible. That place, that was so terrible. No elevators and everything's 8 miles away. I mean, how is that?
It's very spread out. Yeah.
The only thing it has going for it now is that it has its own Skyliner station. That's the only thing it has going for it. So, what about you guys? What do you want? Where do you want to stay the least?
I'm always trying to get the biggest bang for my buck, so I will say probably Riviera. I'm not really interested in staying there all that much. I'd rather pay to stay at, you know, Grand Floridian or even the Saratoga rooms are looking nice now.
But isn't Grand Floridian more points than Riviera? So how's that bang for your buck?
Yeah.
Well, he's saying if he's looking for bang for his buck, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
At least with Grand Floridian, you're on the monorail loop.
I don't care about that stuff anymore, to be honest with you. Like that doesn't really matter to me.
So Julia says she has no desire to stay at Riviera. Carrie says Old Key West.
Old Key West is the best. It is the best. When I talk about bang for your buck, that is the biggest bang for your buck and the biggest rooms on top being the biggest bang for your buck point wise.
So I'll be there in April.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, man. The rooms are refurbished fairly recently.
Now that I went once, I'm all about it. So we're booked. I told you the tree houses in June. I'll see how they are. That will be interesting.
It looks like Lee wants to join us. So Lee, I just sent the link out again. Anybody else that wants to join towards the end of the show here. So Dan, what was yours? I'm sorry, Trevor, were you going to answer? I apologize.
I was just going to say, I see my wife saying that I guess we're never going to stay at Animal Kingdom because it's too far from everything. But
you just found that out on the podcast that you're never
I mean, we'll have to have a discussion.
I think that's a good thought from your wife.
Well,
the food's bad and it's far from everything.
But I still have a least favorite resort beyond that.
Food is terrible there.
I would not stay at, and I'm going to get some reactions here. I don't want to stay at Grand Floridian ever. Like, it's just not my vibe at all.
It's not my vibe either, Trevor. That's why I just did one night there, right? So I would just one night to say
I would stay at Animal Kingdom before I would stay at Grand Floridian. And like I said, it's not that I think it's like a bad resort. It's just it's not my thing.
Chris, trust me, I don't know how he could say the food is bad at Animal Kingdom either.
Terrible.
Sanaa is one of the best restaurants on property.
No.
Boba has the best breakfast buffet on property. Like, nope. I mean, come on.
No.
You see what we're going through now. You see what we go through.
It's not that far away. I mean, I stayed there without having a car, and I think the bus ride was maybe like 12 to 14 minutes.
From where?
It's not bad.
From Animal Kingdom to Magic Kingdom.
I always stay. You guys know I always stay at Animal Kingdom. I don't think the bus ride is that bad. I just don't. It's not. It's not.
I don't know what buses you guys are getting on, but there's no way it's 12 minutes.
It's not.
I also had the same experience. I timed it specifically because everybody complains about it. So I am in agreement.
20 to 25 easy last time. Yeah, it was. There's no doubt in my mind.
No.
Maybe if you're including wait time.
Stopwatch.
No, man.
So Dan says, Dan H says, totally agree with not staying at Grand Floridian. Like to try a night, but overall doesn't appeal to me. The whole idea of the monocle thing came from talking about staying at Grand Floridian, right? Like, because that's where we started joking about that, was because you go into Grand Floridian and you just kind of feel like, oh, I'm not classy enough for this at all.
That's my vibe, though, man. Like,
you are classy enough for that, then, Damon. I'm saying I'm not.
So. That's my vibe. Like, I always want to. We were going somewhere. Someone was talking about what's the place, the amusement park. Was it Cedar Point or whatever?
Yeah, Cedar Point. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I'll go to Cedar Point when they actually have real hotels. Like, that's the thing. And someone was like, well, Breakers. I'm like, no, when they have a real hotel. So, no.
Wendy's dead on here. I'm convinced Damon purposely contradicts popular opinion. That's
there's things I like. Like I said, I love Old Key West. I mean, I think that's a pretty popular opinion that it's cheap.
Well, yeah, it's a fact that it's cheap, right?
Yeah,
So.
I like that. That's a good vibe there.
I don't like
any of the spices in Animal Kingdom. I don't like any of the food. I just don't like it.
Well, listen, I understand if you don't like the food at Boma or Sanaa because it's not those, it's basically Indian food, right? Like it's Indian spices, like that's a lot of what it is, right?
Yep.
And if that's not your jam, like
It's
you're
not my
kind of,
jam.
you're kind of out of luck there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, we went to Sanaa, and I think I said this on the show, where what did I get? I got chicken of some sort, and none of the sides were grabbing me. And I because I'm a little bit picky, and the waitress was like, well, I can bring you mac and cheese. I was like, boom, get me mac and cheese. They'll do whatever. It's like you're at Disney.
But then
They'll
why
get
go
you
there? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for mac and cheese. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lee, thank you for joining us. We were wondering where you were, so
Yeah, sorry, I was eating dinner on Sunday night.
It's okay.
I didn't want to be like on camera shoving food down my throat. So
it's fair
enough. It's fair enough.
Thank you for joining us, though.
At least I'm on camera. At least I'm on camera now. Better late than never.
I know, no Katie. I still am disappointed we have no Katie. We have Lee. We have no Katie. But that's it for me. We're over my hour mark, and the Cowboys game is on. So that's all you get, man.
Normally, I would cut him out saying that, but I really can't when it's live.
No, you can't. Oh, I can say a lot of things right now.
Oh no!
Or I could just mute you, or kick you. I can kick you out.
You could do that too. There's a lot of things you could do.
There's a lot of things I could do, but probably won't. But all right, Damon. Well, thank you for joining your show. Thank you for eventually joining your show. We appreciate it.
It was really difficult today. I'll be honest with you. I had to clean the gutters and stuff. I was not really vibing for. I was kind of tired. I was getting tired around 6 o'clock, and I'm like, wow, I really 7 o'clock. Gosh,
I can't decide if Michelle is giving you a hard time here with this comment. Glad you came by, Damon.
Hey, I came through.
We appreciate you pulling through, Damon.
Thank you. Yeah, no, and I
sometimes it's tough. Listen, here's the thing: if I had my personal time for when I would be most, I don't know, awake, Trevor would still be sleeping. That would be the problem. That's the problem that we end up having. I would love to record the show at 7 o'clock Saturday morning.
No,
7 a.m.
Yo, absolutely. That would be the best.
That's 5 a.m. my time. That's a hard no.
Yeah,
that is a hard.
Oh, I never sneak off the show. Well, I guess sometimes I do.
Damon, Julia appreciates at least you're announcing your exit instead of just.
I mean, sometimes I do. I do get involved in other things. Right, at the same time, the problem with this one was I couldn't really get involved in other things.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you're not even on video though. Nobody can see you,
I guess I could be multitasking, but I'm really not.
Well, we appreciate you respecting the recording. So
I respect the 200th. I respect the 200th.
Respect the 200th. Yeah, respect the 200th.
Wait, so what does that mean though for the rest of the year? What do we got?
2 more shows, 3 more shows, probably 2 more shows for the rest of the year, and then we'll take off for Christmas because we deserve a week off.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be in Dollywood anyway.
We did, by the way. So according to Spotify, we did so far this year. We did 4,206 minutes of content. So it's a lot. It's a lot of content, right? It's a lot of talking. So
wow, a lot of talking.
Yeah. We're also, thank you all, by the way, for all you guys that listen. I started the show talking about this, and then we got distracted by a million other things. But, we're in the top 10% of most followed podcasts on Spotify. It's just crazy. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to me. So anyway, Damon, thank you. We never got Dan and Chris's and Becky's least favorite resorts. I don't think we got those.
I want to come back to something though, and I do want to say that I'm never getting that hat, and I fully understand. I have an email chain in my Gmail that's 30 long. Derek doesn't understand this. Hey, Derek, if you continue to send it U.S. Postal Service, I'm never going to get it. If you're going to send it U.S. Postal Service, at the very least, you need to track it. But your best option would be to send it UPS or FedEx. And he glosses over that part of the discussion every single time, and it continues to send it United States Postal Service, and wonders why I never get the 4 that he sent. So
I love that you're just calling out Derek on here.
Oh, absolutely. Because I have an email chain where it's like, dude, like, why do you keep on missing that part of the conversation?
No, he sent them to Becky's address. That's why all of the members
I'm going to get mine in person when I go in June. So we were talking about what we're doing this June. So if anyone has any ideas for mini golf in Orlando, that is what we're doing when we go down to Disney in June. Okay.
All right.
I looked at a few of them. There's a new Tiger Woods one that just opened, which looks like it's kind of interesting, but I'd also like to go to some of those other ones. So maybe Derek can meet me at the Tiger Woods mini golf to get me a bucket hat. I don't know.
Feels like there's a Tiger Woods joke in there somewhere, and I'm just not going to do it.
It looked pretty cool, though, I will say. So
all right. Well, is anything else, Damon, before you?
That's it for me.
Okay. So let's say, Dan, you want to do your least favorite here?
Sure. Yeah, I agree with Francisco. For me, we stayed at Riviera before, and for us, that's not our vibe. I feel like I'm similar along the Grand Floridian lines there too. I feel like I got to take my shoes off to come in, and just I'm not fancy enough to go in there. So I don't like the points cost there too. It's just they're points heavy on the cost. So for us, it's probably there. I paid for a preferred view room at Riviera, which means you get to look at Caribbean Beach and the Skyliner, which is fine.
I feel like they should give you points.
Beautiful rooms, beautiful resort, just not for me. So,
it's interesting. I had no desire to stay really at Riviera until Trevor and I went there when we were at the meetup, and then when we went there, I was like, "Wow, this place is nice." Yeah. But it's kind of a similar vibe to me as Grand Floridian, where it feels very fancy, right? Definitely. Like it feels. Yeah,
it's not quite as over the top as Grand Floridian for me. I guess and I think I said that when you and I were walking through there, Tom.
Yeah. I agree.
I was on board with it because it didn't quite feel as extra as Grand Floridian does sometimes.
No, I agree. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You didn't feel like you needed to wear a monocle for that one.
Yeah. We made through the lobby without any monocles, so it was.
The lobby is 4 steps. So
that's fair too. The lobby does not compare, right? The lobbies are the big difference, I feel like, between those two resorts. But I will say though, when you come up and park your car and like that little bridge you walk across, that's a lot. Like that's pretty fancy, I think. So, all right. Well, Becky, what's yours then? What's yours?
I'm not running back to Bay Lake Tower.
You know what? It's one of my home resorts. I kind of agree with you. The best part about Bay Lake Tower, completely the best part. There's 2 good parts about Bay Lake Tower: that you can get to the monorail and that you can walk to Magic Kingdom, right? Like that's it. Like it's nothing else. Oh, look, we got kids showing up again too. So
there's only 2 of them, and they just keep coming up. The other ones are all at Scouts, but okay. I'll just keep coming up.
Little known fact: I quit Boy Scouts after like 2 merit badges. So I think I got like basket weaving and
shoe tying.
Yeah, shoe tying. Still struggle with that. I was actually putting an inflatable in my yard today of Santa, and I was having a really hard time tying the knot on the stakes. So anyway. Lee, what I mean, do we get Chris, or do we? Chris, did you do yours?
No,
I don't remember.
I didn't. I think first of all, we are not allowed to stay at Riviera because we're second class white card types.
Oh,
the vibe there, I love it. Primo Piatto is my favorite quick service place on all of the property. But I think Bay Lake is my answer too. Like we stayed there and we had a great time, but the room was terrible. Like it was mildew smell. You could smell from the elevator.
Oh, wow.
And the refrigerator knocked so loudly that our kids kept answering the door because they thought people were coming to the door. It was not great, but everything else is great. Being steps away from Magic Kingdom and all that stuff is awesome, but the room was rough.
Being able to walk to Magic Kingdom is great, right? Like that's undeniably great, right? Like you can't get any closer to Magic Kingdom than Bay Lake, right? And that's fantastic. But to your point, like the rooms are kind of small. The one thing I did like about the rooms is they have like that separate like pantry area kind of, which was kind of great to have. That was kind of neat. I liked that. And you don't get that in any of the other resorts. But outside of that, to your point, yeah, I mean, it's We went the first time we ever stayed on DVC. We had a great time. We loved the resort, but it wasn't one we were rushing to get back to, you know? All right, Lee, least favorite resort. One you're not going to stay at.
My least favorite, I think, is like Saratoga Springs or Old Key West. I like that you can walk to the parks from the other deluxe resorts. But for me, I think Saratoga Springs, it just feels more like a moderate resort. And the rooms are nice, but it's just so big. It's a lot of like walking from one stop to the next and then the bus. It's close to Disney Springs, which is nice. But aside from that, there's not a lot of upsides for me. So it's hard. I'm also not really into golf. I don't play golf.
There's, when I stayed, the one time I stayed at Saratoga Springs, I thought to myself, oh, I'm going to I want to go over to Disney Springs and get like some breakfast or whatever. And I'm like, I'll just walk over there. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, this is like a really far walk. It's not close. It's close, but it's not really that close, right? Like it's like, I don't really want to walk like a half a mile this morning or a mile this morning. I just to go get some donuts and then, walk a mile back again. Like it just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll have to leave it at, there's not really resorts that we don't like, but we have 2 young kids and we're trying to get the biggest bang for our buck. Having that 1 bedroom where you can put kids to the side, you have the washer, dryer, the full kitchen, that is key for us. So, Animal Kingdom or Old Key West have been go-tos. We're staying at Old Key West this coming April just for the fact that we're going to be there for a week and we have all this space. And if the kids want to take a nap, they can go. We can put them in the room. So that's the point in life that we're at right now. We do day trips to the other resorts. We might go to Riviera to get some lunch or something like that because we don't go to the parks every day because there's so much to do there. But it's all about expanding those points as much as you can.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because the one time we stayed with my daughter early on, we stayed in a studio and, she goes to bed at like 7:00 and that was not the best situation. Mm-hmm. So we're like, from now on, we need a separate space. We need a place that we can hang out and where, although I'm getting a little spoiled on 2 bedrooms. I'm not going to lie. The past couple trips, we've done the 2 bedrooms. The 2 bedrooms are great. It's hard to not want to do 2 bedrooms. I don't know. But anyway. All right. So we got 2 things.
You get add-ons.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. We got 2 rumors left, and then we're going to get out of here because it's almost been an hour and a half now, and we should end this thing because I made some brownies earlier, and I want to go eat them. But also, it's been an hour and a half. So separate from what we were talking about before, separate from the false news that Becky shared in the Discord about the Park Pass reservations, there is an actual rumor going. I'm never going to let you live it down, Becky. There is an actual rumor going on that there are changes coming to the Park Pass system, that they're not getting rid of it, but it's going to be more automatic. So meaning what they're saying is that guests with date-based theme park tickets won't need to make a park reservation at all. Park entry will be guaranteed with their ticket purchase. And instead of them doing the Park Pass system, they would just basically shut down. You can't buy tickets, like if they don't have capacity. They'll still control attendance. They'll just shut down the ability to buy tickets. Francisco, were you trying to talk? I'm sorry. I saw your mouth moving.
I think that makes total sense. That makes
does.
Total sense. I mean, that's a no-brainer, it seems like.
Yeah. And
it's one less step, right?
Exactly.
Because right now it's kind of silly. I think we've all been through this. You buy your tickets and then you have to go back into the system and, figure out reservation days and all that. So yeah, they're cutting a step out, which, for people that aren't as tuned into Disney definitely makes sense. Cause I'm sure there's a lot of people that got upset with the current system. So
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't see them not taking this away.
So many of my friends have been like, it's so hard to plan a Disney trip now, especially with young kids. It's not flexible. It's just, there's no freedom really. They feel like unless you're a Disney pro, like, how to plan Disney trips, like it's a whole job to like plan one.
Sure.
Yeah. So,
well, by the way, this rumor also says that park hopping will now be available at any time with this, if this rumor is true. So the park hopping restriction will be gone, which is, as Julia's saying here, basically what they did before, right? Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much back to what it used to be. And so the rumor is these changes will go into effect in 2023, possibly January. They've been working on this for a while. But and this was being changed under Chapek, but Iger's going to get all the credit for it, right? Like everyone's going to go, look, Iger already fixed it. Look at that. I mean, because everyone thinks you can do stuff fast, but really any change that takes place takes months and months of work, right? But most people are just going to be like, oh yeah, look at Iger just fixing everything right away, right? But good for Iger, I guess, to get all the credit for all that stuff. But yeah, so we'll have to see what happens. Who knows if this rumor's true or not. We like talking about rumors though, so it's a good one. And then the last rumor I have is that Tron is going to open. The opening date is set for early April, with previews to begin in March. This one feels believable because they said spring. It seems mostly done, right? Like every time I see pictures, it's like, why are they waiting 3 more months? Like, what are they doing? Unless there's stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's stuff they're doing on the inside, right? Like, and they're testing still.
Yeah.
And all that. But yeah,
it honestly pisses me off because I'm going with my mom in February. And I'm just like, come on, like we're like there like February 20th, and it's like, really, like it's not open until March. Like it's such a tease. It's such a tease.
Well, and it's also like I just saw too that there's some chatter that the train's going to reopen before the week of Christmas, and it's same thing with like Trevor was just there hoping to get on the train.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just, I mean, I missed it too. I was sad. So
at least I'll be able to do the train. I'll do that.
Yeah. By the way, Julia's pointing out that Iger said that the decision was for Josh Diamara to make, right? So, which he did say that, but I mean, he's also going to probably weigh in on this too, right? So, anyway, go ahead, Trevor. What were we going to say about Tron?
Well, actually, I was going to say about the train. I was going to agree with Lee that as much as I'm excited for Tron, and the opening of that means a lot, it means there's going to be a Tron coming, but then the train, I think people overlook how big that was and how long it's been gone for.
Oh yeah.
So
it feels like it's been gone forever, man. It feels like it's been like 5-6 years it's been gone. I mean, I think it's what, 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah,
it's been longer than that.
Yeah. Plus, with the pandemic in there too, it kind of made it feel like it was longer than it was. But, and I know, like, we looked at it from the People Mover. The point about, it seems like it should be open. There's still actually a lot of work to do with like the pathing and stuff in front of the ride.
Yeah.
My wife's chiming in there about the trains because
bring on the trains.
People overlook how great the train truly is. But yeah, I think there's still just a lot of landscaping and stuff that people don't realize needs to be done. I will say, when we were there, like the canopy was lit up at night and it looks amazing. Like I can't wait for that whole area to be open. April, I hope this rumor is wrong. I hope it's earlier than April. I hope that we hear something like, after Christmas, like January, they're like, hey, we're going to have, previews, and then like March timeframe. And the only reason I say that is because the sooner it opens up, the sooner that it will actually calm down. So by the time I go back for my next trip, it won't be quite as stressful to try and get on it.
That's fair enough.
So I want it sooner.
That's the correct response.
That's the correct response.
I guess that's a fair point because for my mom and I, like that's like Guardians for us. We're trying to get on that when we go, and I know the demand's still very high. So.
Oh yeah, it's still crazy busy.
I haven't been on it yet, so I'm hoping I can get a boarding group, or I'll do like a lightning lane. But
it's worth it. Do it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get a good song. I'll throw it out. Whoever, or actually, that I think this is like a Facebook group discussion on who thinks the best song is on Guardians, and why is it Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Anyway.
Okay, hold on a second though. I haven't been on it, but I feel like September's got to be the best one for that ride.
Nope. Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
I mean, I'm not going to argue against Tears for Fears ever, but September just feels like the perfect song for that ride. No,
it was great. I mean, I didn't get Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I got Conga and September, but that September was great.
See, Julia agrees.
I've gotten 4 out of 6 of the songs, and although I have not gotten September or I Ran by Flock of Seagulls. Of all the other songs that I've done, Everybody Wants to Rule the World was the best one.
All right. Well, I think this is it for our 200th episode live stream. If you guys all hang towards the end here, don't leave yet. Stick around. We want to talk to you after. But so stick around for a few minutes here. But Trevor, do you want to go ahead and wrap us up so we can wrap this thing up? So thank you for everybody, first of all, that joined us on the stream and that commented and that have listened to 200 episodes of us talking. That's probably like 400 hours at least of content somehow. I don't know how many it is. We talk, way too long all the time, so it's probably up there. A special thanks to everybody that decided to join the stream as well. And thank you to Becky and Chris and Francisco and Dan, other Dan, Lee. Also special thanks for Damon for coming to the episode as well. He's not here anymore. We can talk trash about him. Okay. So go ahead, wrap us up, Trevor. And if you guys, like I said, hang around until we go here. So.
All right. So as usual, if after this, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing your trip reports. Everyone shares great stories with us on there and ask questions, all that kind of stuff. So you can always find us on Gmail. As Tom put it up on here, if you're watching this, you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast, same on YouTube. And you can find our Instagram, which is Welcome Home Pics, and all of those are where we share stuff. You'll see the episode stuff gets posted, but anytime we share things, those are our social medias. Also, if you're on Facebook, make sure you check out our Facebook group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist. Everyone who's on the episode right now, I hope you know where it is, but anyone else that's listening to this, come join the conversation with these great people, because I think it's pretty awesome that we have a great group with all you awesome people in it. The last couple of things, if you want to check out our merchandise, make sure you go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com. And right now we have the Haunted World of DVC shirt up there right now.
DVC?
Or
what?
Sorry, not Haunted.
Haunted Universe of Energy.
Thank you. I totally put two different things together.
You put it's okay.
Haunted Universe of Energy. Thank you. That thing. Yes. Check out the shirt up there. But we also have other merchandise on there. And if you want to support us on Patreon, go to patreon.com/welcomehomepodcast and check out our different levels of Patreon support that come with exclusive Patreon merchandise that you can't get anywhere else. So, if that's interesting to you, make sure you have a look at. Also, that gets you access to the Discord server, which for those that are on the Discord server know it's a bit of a different conversation than Facebook. Lots of great conversation happens on there, and that's usually at this point I would hand it over to Tom for I forgot to mention
reviews.
Yes. So if you're on Spotify or iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating, because that makes Tom happy. And do we have any reviews this week?
We do have a review. I'm not prepared outside of all the other things I had to prepare before we did this. 1 second, please. Oh, okay. There we go. So this is from I don't know how to say this name. This review just is titled Pizza. Come on, guys. The best pizza on property is Pizza Pont. I don't know how to say it. Whatever. I don't even know what that is. Where is that? What is that?
It doesn't sound like Via Napoli.
That doesn't sound like Via Napoli. You spelled Via Napoli wrong in your review. Okay, you spelled it right. It's VIA. Okay. So don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release an episode. You can find us Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify. We'll see how fast I can say that because we say it so many times. Any podcast app out there. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast, entertainment only. We're not employed by the Walt Disney Company, unfortunately. And, I guess if we were, we'd have to end the show, right? Couldn't do the show anymore if we were. So all opinions we express on the show are our own. So, ask a cast member or whoever else about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you to our sponsors, World of DVC, DVC Resale Market, and a rental store for sponsoring this episode. Thank you guys. Yeah, Becky's got a hat. She just is going to rub it in everybody's face. Because I don't have a hat either. Becky's got the hat. No hat for Damon.
No hat for me either.
Thank you guys so much. Seriously, I can't thank you enough for joining us on the 200th episode, and we're really, really excited. So, and by the way, if you're hearing this right now on audio, you can go watch the replay of this. You can watch it on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. Just go to our channels. You can watch the replay and go check that out. So, join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl, eating